Anyhow, we're talking with Bill Hand. He is the producer of a play that's coming to New Bern. And Bill, good afternoon.
Good
Welcome
afternoon,
back.
sir.
And let's talk about this. Eugene O'Neill.
Eugene O'Neill, Desire Under the Elms.
All right, before we even get into that, let's talk about Bill Hand, and let's talk about the North Carolina History Theater. Who is Bill Hand?
Well, he's sitting right here. I am a writer, a photographer, a cartoonist. My great deep love is theater and history. And in forming the North Carolina History Theater, it allowed me to put two of my greatest loves together. And so we have a program in which we present local history, state history, national history, plus we aim to present to the audience the classic plays that sometimes you won't see the other theaters doing, or sometimes you do. And to teach people, theater is a great art. It's not only great art, it's philosophy. It's the history of who we are.
You know, the other aspect of this, and the entertainment factor too, because it allows you to, if you will, insert yourself in a different environment, psychologically, and so that's the other benefit of theater as well for the audience, and they sort of get caught up in it. And the nice thing about theater, and I'm again having participated in it, it's three-dimensional.
Yes.
I film is great, but to a large degree, and you as a producer, a director, actor, you know what I'm talking about. The three dimensions. Suddenly, the audience is seeing a deeper pattern.
Yes, there's a magic there that a film just can't touch.
Right.
And despite the millions of dollars they can sink into it, when you're doing a play with the audience is part of the art form created that night. And every night is a totally different show because you've got a totally different audience.
Right. And they react differently, too.
They react differently, and we bring them in, they bring us out. And it's a great experience for everybody, no matter what kind of show you're doing.
All right. I think this is important. Let's talk about the theater. Where will the production be conducted? At the Oranger Theater?
This is going to be the Oranger Theater, Craven Community College. In fact, they are partners in this particular production. They partner with us every summer. And we usually present an in-house written musical historical story. This year we're taking a little break from that, and so we're doing Desire Under the Elms instead. And
I just want to make mention of this. You have an excellent lineup of sponsors to the Bate Foundation. Mm-hmm. That's significant. Air Tech, Craven Community College, as you mentioned a few moments ago. You've got North Carolina Conservation.
Yes, they have been involved they're not in this production, they have been involved in the past. So we
Carolina East Systems.
Carolina East.
And also the North Carolina Arts Council.
Yes, and Air Tech is our primary sponsor in this particular show, and we're very grateful. It's the first time they've come in with us.
That's wonderful. And of course, I want to give credit to two other organizations, the Marianne and Joseph T. Murphy Foundation. Also, folks that I know, General and Mrs. Tom Broughton, as well as Steve Tyson.
Yes, amazing fellows, those two.
They are. So this is, okay, we're talking about Eugene O'Neill's play, Desire Under the Elms. Let's talk about the production and who's going to be appearing in it, starring in it.
The actors in it, this is a small play as far as the cast goes. Right. There are a total of 5 main actors in it. The primary ones, the leads, a gentleman named Cruz, and I don't even know if he has a last name.
Okay.
That's what he goes by. He's a former entertainer out of New York. He's playing Eben, the young son, who is probably the key character that everything revolves around. And Melanie Corbett, who has done a fair amount of drama with us and comedies with us, is playing Abby, the part of the triangle love interest story there, and then playing
the conniver.
The conniver, yes, she is the conniver. Well, actually, this is a play where everybody is a conniver. I know. But she is the greatest manipulator in the piece. And then there is Benny Thompson playing Cabot, the old and very cranky father, and he is all 3 of them are doing an amazing job. And we have coming in as the brothers, Roger, and he will hate me because I'm forgetting his last name.
That's right.
And
Okay. So
John Rock.
Okay. So we've got five cast members. How long have you been working on this production?
We started rehearsing this back in March, and on a very occasional basis, and we build up the rehearsals as we go along.
Let's talk about the development of characters on the part of Eugene O'Neill.
Yes.
He's very aggressive. He's a his characters. He demands a lot from them. I would argue.
Yes, this is not an easy play for any of the actors to do.
No, it's not.
These are
emotionally
intense characters. It is a very emotional and powerful play about. It's a sense of where do you belong?
Right.
How do you find that sense of belonging? And how do you find your sense of worth? And there's these three characters. Cabot, the father, Ephraim Cabot, is a hard man who worships a God who is hard and lonely, as he puts it, and he is determined to run this farm. And he has come home with his third wife, a very young woman, and he has three sons, and they are stepsons. Two sons, Peter and Simeon, from a first wife, and then Eben from a second wife. And these sons, they despise the old man, and they hate the farm that has driven them and ground them down so much. And Eben is trying to get the two brothers off to the gold fields of California where they want to live so he can claim the farm. And he wants the farm because he is thoroughly convinced that his father worked his mother to death and stole the farm from her family. And there's a big part of the conflict that happens. Now, this young woman, Abby, who is about Eben's age, comes walking into the story, and she's looking for belonging. She has been orphaned, hard work, and nowhere all her life, and here is the chance to get her own home. And she comes in here, but she doesn't like Cabot any more than anybody else does.
Right.
And right off the bat, she's in a battle over who's going to control this farm with Eben. And as they battle and have this endless warfare back and forth, they begin to fall in love.
Right.
And there you've got a very powerful
the
triangle that
right.
takes place throughout the show that will definitely have you hanging on every moment.
We're talking with Bill Hand. We're talking about a play that's coming up in July, and I've not given the dates on that. We're going to give that in just a moment. But we're talking with Bill Hand on the production of Eugene O'Neill's play, Desire Under the Elms. It's going to be taking place at the Oranger Theater at Craven Community College.
800 College Court, I believe, is the address.
And it's running in the month of July. The dates are July 11 and 12. I'm looking at this right now.
Yes.
July 13, and then, okay, so you have a matinee, and then you have July 18 and 19 with another matinee on the 20th.
2 weekends, Friday and Saturday shows start at 7, and Sunday shows start at 2.
I think the matinees are great as well.
I've had people tell me, you can't do matinees. Nobody comes. It's like they don't know our area. Our matinees are the biggest sellers we have.
Well, you know, especially in a hot summer day, a lot of people are not out there sweating on a Sunday afternoon. So, no, I think it's a great opportunity. Bill, let's talk about the opportunity for theater in general. You have been working in this regard now for several years. What's your thought? Something such as this, I think, you know, a lot of people are not used to Eugene O'Neill. They are not aware of some of his other plays, but the fact that there's a growing, I'm going to say, a growing interest in this market for theater. So let's talk about your interest in this. How did you?
Well, I moved into the New Bern area way back in '95, and right off the bat, I hit the ground running with theater. I started doing plays in the old Days Inn, which is now a big parking lot, sort of, up in New Bern, up on their top floor. And we were doing where most people are finding the silly shows and everything. I started doing George Bernard Shaw, and did several of his plays. The chocolate
Always,
soldier.
always somebody
yeah.
with a little bit of wit, but
A lot
also-
of wit
but
and
very dry.
and very dry wit, and he wrote in such a way that even the most minor character was a great part. Mm-hmm. He just had a beautiful way of dialogue. He once said that he could have given Shakespeare a good run for his money if they'd been around at the same time, and I'm sure he believed
probably
it.
would.
Yeah, he's got a couple other famous. He wrote. To Winston Churchill once, saying, "Here's a couple tickets for my show. So bring along a guest if you can, if a friend, if you have one."
If you have one, that's right.
Of course, Churchill's response was, "We'll come to your second night if you have one." So, but that I did did some Moliere. I've done Tartuffe. I've done Imaginarium, but plays you don't generally think of, but are great shows. And I ran a little theater at that time called George's Dinner Club, named after Shaw. Uh-huh. I've done some plays with Civic, with Rivertown,
Right.
before developing into this company.
Wonderful. Well, again, we're talking with Bill Hand, and we're talking with him related to, the North Carolina History Theater, but also the upcoming play for Eugene O'Neill. And but let's talk about the tickets. How do
You got three
givers-
ways. You can go onto our website. It is nchistorytheater.org. We spell theater Theater, not R-E.
Not R.E.?
Not R-E. I was an English major. What can I
Okay.
say? And too much Britishisms.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that is one place. You can also look up our coming season there and other information like that. You can pick up tickets in person or by phone at the Bank of the Arts on Middle Street in New Bern. Or you can show up at the door if you wish and purchase tickets the night of a show.
All right, let's talk the price.
Price is $25 is the general.
Really?
It reflects what the ticket prices are in New Bern. It's the same price. We keep our tickets to run with the other companies.
Okay.
And then $20 for seniors, for veterans, and students.
The important thing here, I think, is the opportunity to branch out. I commend you. I commend the entire cast for wanting to take on something that too often we pine about, but we don't do anything to do.
Yeah.
The willingness to invest time, effort.
And when we first mentioned this play, when I first went to my board and said, I want to do this play,
Right.
I got some grief from it from one or two members. I got some grief from a few people. Oh, you want to do a dark play like that? It's like, yeah, because every so often you want something you can really sink your teeth into. And this is the most dedicated cast I have had in several. Not to say my other casts have not been good, but these people have really, really come into this from day one.
You started
throwing
in
their
March.
whole into
You
it.
started in March.
Around March, we started our rough rehearsals in March. Picked them up mostly, really got going late April.
All right, we're talking with Bill Hand. It's an opportunity, the audience, and we're going to be giving away tickets here on the Talk Station. We'll start doing that next week, Bill, because we're going to promote it. The opportunity to enjoy an evening of theater. It starts, by the way, at 7 p.m.
Yes.
And it'll be July 11th, July 12th in the evenings. It's Friday and Saturday evening, and then Sunday, July 13th,
Yes.
2 p.m. matinee. Then the following weekend, July 18th, 19th, 7 p.m., and then the matinee the following Sunday, the 20th. One of the drawbacks to this, Bill, is you work so hard for what amounts to 6 productions.
And boom, light switch, it's over.
I know. But part of the fun is the actual rehearsing, is it not?
Yeah. It usually is. There are those nights
yeah,
you walk
no, I've
out
been
and
there.
bang your head on a wall for a while before
Been
you
there,
go home.
done that.
But,
All right.
Yeah, and I should mention also in this particular play, we're doing some live music background and over it, and we're bringing in a musician, a guitar musician, and particularly if you live in the New Bern area, you're probably familiar with the guy. His name is Howard Matthews, and he's called the Music Man there.
Right,
You'll
right.
often see him out busking on the sidewalks and doing a lot of shows. And he's a good friend, and he's agreed to come in, and I think he's going to add an awful lot to it as well.
All right. Again, the way to get to the tickets are going through the website.
The website, nchistorytheater.org.
Okay. nchistorytheater.org. Or the Bank of the Arts.
Bank of the Arts.
Or you can do it that evening.
Do it at that evening and show up at the door.
The Oranger Theater at Craven Community College.
Yes.
And by the way, it's easy to get to the community college.
It's very easy.
Very easy. I take advantage of this. Bill, thank you very much for being with us.
I was very glad to be here.
More to come here, and we're going to continue to promote this, Bill. Thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.